And Rasayana therapy always, and because the aim and objective of a good health is to have very good offsprings. Because person, there are three ashrams, there are three, what you call that, our desires. Dhana yashana, prana yashana, paraloka yashana, and more than that is the offsprings yashana. That means we wanted to have, first we wanted to have some dhana yashana, and then other things we automatically follow. But after all, everything is done, then people think of getting some child, so offsprings of the progeny is wanted. And for that, there are certain drugs are mentioned which are called as Vajikarna. Vajikarna meaning is, Vaji means horse. The power, the power, conjugational power, the sexual power will be increased just like a horse, because horse is more powerful animal, and it runs so fast. So people think that the power of horse is ultimate. So such a power, if you get from the rasayana properties and Vajikarna drugs, then that is called as Vajikarna Dravya. In Vajikarna Dravyas, various, like a simple thing is Ashwagandha is there, and this Kapikachu is an important drug, and many drugs are there, and even mineral drugs are also there, and all those combinations of drugs are given. But Vajikarna is not that simple. Simply giving some remedy for 1 day or 2 days is not like that. First, Vajikarna to be done means you have to go for the Rasayana Karma. That means you have to get done Rasayana, and then you have to come to the Vajikarna. And after that, the person will be totally fit for having the pregnancy or having the progeny. So that is about Rasayana and Vajikarna. So simply you can see that Chyawanprash, because generally people know about Chyawanprash, everybody might have heard about Chyawanprash. So what actually Chyawanprash does? So Chyawanprash is having in the Shastra, the reference of Chyawanprash, you will have all these things. So it increases intelligence, memory, increases Kanti, that is lust, Nirogata, healthy, you will be healthy, you will have longevity, the power of sensory organs increases, high digestive power will be there, clear complexion will be there, and Vata is always normal movement, having normal. That is more important as far as the Vaidyas are concerned, because Vata will cause all the problems. If it is in normal movement, that means Anulomana movement, everything will be normal, all the functions will be normal. So Vayu Anulomana is done by this Chandras. That's why it's very good, considered very good Rasayana. And this Maithuna Samarthya, that is sexual power, also increases with this Chandra function. So that ends the Rasayana and Vajika. So the lifestyle disorders are because of the avastha. We have the Bala avastha, Yavana avastha, Madhya avastha, and Vruddha avastha. Avastha is nothing but the stage of our life. And in Vruddha avastha, the Vata is predominant dosha, and it will be actually causing all the problems. But that doesn't mean that only that Vruddhavastha will get the lifestyle disorders, but all other groups of people also get the attacks of such disorders due to improper lifestyles or food habits. Lifestyles includes food habits, but we have to mention it also. So due to this condition, various disorders we generally get, but as a common in middle age and old age, as a common we get all these. I have just listed them, some of these, because normally people will be actually suffering one or the other thing from these in our middle age and the latter age also. Joints pains and muscle pains, digestive problems and constipation, loss of sensation and tingling and numbness of limbs or of any part, diabetic and metabolic disorders. This is very commonly we face. breathing disorders or the disorders of respiratory tract, obesity, of course, hypertension and cardiac problems, and urinary obstructions and incontinence. Some people will be having no passage of urine properly, and some people will be complaining excessive urination or uncontrolled urination. Those things are also come under these lifestyle problems. So for all the lifestyle problems, the pradhana dosha, as for Ayurveda, is first Vata will be taking the front part, because in any disorder, Vata is this way or other way, it will cause the problem, because Vata is to be maintained properly and should be flowing towards the ground. That means towards the downwards it should flow. But it will be flowing upwards or here and there, then there will be disturbance in all other doshas and all other dhatus, and these problems will be coming forward. So here Vata, because muscle and joints, they are moving, means because of the Vata dosha is in proper condition, they could have will have very good movements and very good physical activity. But Vata dosha, when it goes this way or that way and aggravated, then kapha, which is required there for its um, uh, smoothness, so that will be diminishes automatically, and thereby the joints become very dry because of vata. That there will be complete dryness of the joint, and that makes the starting of the various pains. And if it further goes, there will be even friction in the bones, and the joints will be much more painful. So arthritic problems are because of this, and there will be much more painful. In that condition, what you have to do is Kafakara and Vatahara material, which are Guru, heavy, Snigdha, and properties, and Madhura in taste, are to be used. That means, which is actually because then Kapha is diminished and Vata increased. So Kafakara Ahara Padarthas like Guru Ahara, sweet, or these which are having somewhat heaviness and somewhat oily things. But you have to keep in mind about your other problems, like if you are obese, then we cannot go for all these things. But as a general, I'm telling you, and in drugs, this Dashamula, Rasna, Nirgundi, Eranda, and Gugulu preparations are given. And particularly, this is much important. Snehana, Abhyangana, and Nadi Sveda and Januvasti type of Seda. That means application of oils, application of bath of oils, and that is followed by some sedation, and that causes good relief in the joint space. And also using some oily preparation or dhruta preparation internally, then these joint pains are definitely controllable. So abuse and overuse of the joint should be avoided, and joint specific exercises are mentioned, and those things are to be learned and they are to be undertaken. So generally, these are the drugs: Bala Moolam, Bala Ashwagandha, Dashamula, Gugulu, Pravala. These are actual drugs, and their combinations and their drugs are available, and that can be taken anyhow. Any drug is to be taken under the supervision of any physician or any Vaidya or any whoever is available. So food like Madhura Yukta Ahara and light exercise and is to be done. So that is actually. Now, next is digestion and constipation. Vata kapha doshas are cause of the cause. The pitta diminishes because vata can also cause the indigestion and constipation. Kapha can also cause the indigestion and constipation also. So abdomen bloating, anorexia, feeling of fullness, loss of appetite. This will be caused by kapha, and pain and absolute constipation will be caused by the vata. So when vata dosha is there, the agni will cause different type of situation, and sometimes they will be fully digestion, and sometimes there will be no digestion. Like that, it will be changing from time to time. And in this condition, one has to take the Vatahara Dravyas, particularly um, Vatahara Dravyas, like here I have not mentioned, but Jiraka and Trikatu and some sticky substances made from these two things. And in food also we were discussing about Vilepi, Peya. So those things can be taken. And when the Vataja type of indigestion and Vataja type of constipation is there. When Kaphaja type of constipation and this is there, then you have to take certain spicy things and food also some liquid and which enhances the um, digestive power, like cardamom is to be taken or the trikatu is to be taken, and some other spices like ginger is to be used in kafaja type of things. So digestion, improving digestion and making good movements of the intestines will relieve this indigestion and as well as constipation problem. And then loss of sensation and sometimes numbness or sometimes tingling in the fingertips or in the feet or in the both the hands and in any part of the body. These are generally considered as neuropathies. That means some nerves are actually not functioning properly, or they are giving the message of a different type of sensation, and due to that we will get this numbness or tingling or something. This is again a problem of the vata. Well, because nerve system is controlled by vata, and everywhere, wherever the nerves are having some neuropathies or having diminished action, then vata is said to be diminished there or aggravated and gone to some other place, and due to that, these neuropathies are forming. So, for this regulation of vata, oily preparation or gingerly oil, like Chirabala oil, and even internal consuming also Chirabala Thailam is an important remedy, and that can be taken. And Bala and Rasna and Dashmul Eranda is to be taken. But one should try, just the neuropathy started, mean one should try to take the Snehanam, that is internal as well as external uh, massage with particularly gingerly oil and the oil made from the various drugs and gingerly, then that is to be applied on the various parts wherever that is problematic, and it is followed by the some fermentation. So this is very important. And basti karma, that is medicated enemas, are to be taken periodically. That means every week or every twice in a week, like that. If one takes that, definitely this type of neuropathies, even neuropathies during the diabetes, is also controlled by that. So same thing what I have actually mentioned, body massage, oil, internal use of oil, surrounding should be kept warm, and exposure to some sunlight can be taken up. Brinjals and tubers veggies like potatoes and other things, the tubers have to be avoided. So these are the same drugs: Bala, Rasna, Dashamula, Tirataila, Dakilu, Shatavari, Jivaniya, Jana, and Arjuna. And diabetes and other metabolic problems. The state of diabetes is a peculiar one where all the doshas are involved. Here, Vata is no doubt the main predominant dosha, but all the Kapha and Pitta are also involved. But in Ayurveda, the two types of diabetes we generally see, that one is Vata Pradhana diabetes and one is Kapha Pradhana diabetes. In Vata Pradhana diabetes, the person will be very lean and his sugar levels are very high. Sometimes it goes very high, sometimes very low, and he looks to be very much malnourished, and his dhatus are almost very lean and very much in at the lower level, and such person, because of the vata dosha, he got this problem, and due to that, that is he sometimes they become that insulin dependent also. But when it is from kapha, that means the person will be obese generally, or the person will be having all the dhatus in excess quantity, but still the proper way of metabolism is not taking place, and the excess found in the dhatus, that is actually channelized through the urine and through the blood, and due to that there will be glycosuria. That means the blood sugar will be there present in the blood and as well as in the urine. So these two types of diabetes we have to first see that. And madhumeha we say madhumeha, because all the madhumeha starts from the prameha. That is the prior stage of prameha. Madhumeha is prameha. There's 20 types of pramehas are there, out of which the Vataja pramehas are very much fatal and very much dangerous. And due to that, if they continue, prameha means where the person passes excessive urination. That is pre-diabetic condition. And where he passes excessive urination, and after that, if he continues and he got some points where the vata further increases, then he will be landing in the form of madhumeha. So prameha turns into madhumeha. So for combating the condition, all the vata pitta kapha controlling activities and foodstuffs and drugs should be used. Particularly madhura, shita, guru and snigdha ahara and drugs should be avoided. That is basic principle. That's madhura, that is sweet, and shita, everything which is cooling, guru, which is not easily digestible. And that's why here millets can be taken because they are not guru and they are not shita. And snigdha ahara, that means the oily food, that should be avoided. Minimum level of oil and minimum level of food, shita and guru, that is to be taken. Instead, you have to take opposite to madhura, that is bitter and hot and light. And snigdha means you can say the dry. So those things can be and the drugs like Amalaki, Haridra, Amruta, Jambuka, and food with bitter taste are useful. So this is the principle of treatment, the basic principle of treatment and basic principle of food, how you have to plan. When the disease is noticed kapha type, madhumeha, shodhana, that means the panchakarma like vamana, virechana should be tried. Kaphahara drugs and diet is advised. Madhura lavana rasas, the stuffs tasting sweet and salty are to be avoided. Tikta kashaya rasas, that means the which are bitter and which are astringent, they have to be taken. And amlaki, meshashangi, jambuka should be used. These are the drugs. And kafahara vyayama, vihara, that is activities are to be undertaken.